guys, and welcome back for another video. So today's video is sure to give us some laughs because it's Jesse Lee freaking Peterson, and if anybody knows him, and don't worry, the video link will be in the description because this dude is absolutely hilarious. Okay, he's a reverend, he owns a business that helps young men, and he also does YouTube and a radio show. So he's pretty much an all-around guy and a great personality. So let's go ahead and watch this exchange with a woman as they debate about Adam and Eve.
It's like you got to pretend that they're leading.
No. I think
you're generalizing. It's like Bruce Jenner putting on a dress and you pretend it's a woman. It's like when women are put in leadership positions, you have to pretend they're leading when you know that they're not.
But see,
isn't that right?
No, I completely disagree, because while the woman is submitting to her husband is respecting her enough to get her opinion on things. So she is still subliminally leading.
But every time he listens to her, he suffers.
No.
Every time the man listens to the woman, he suffers.
I'm so sorry this happened to you.
Okay, I'm sorry to have to stop it so soon, but that's a pretty broad statement right there. And you guys definitely leave it in the comment section whether or not you agree. Now, if you ask my husband, he'll probably be like, yeah, that's true, because the few times that I've taken my wife's advice, it's definitely not brought me good results. But I don't know if that's true in every case and scenario, but when it comes to relationships, it might actually be. You definitely, as a woman, have to let your man lead. And so if you end up leading, you could lead him astray. So we'll leave it at that.
I counsel with men every day around the world.
Okay.
Of all races, all categories.
And they say that.
And they say every time they listen to the woman, they suffer. It's a bad mistake.
But
even God said that. God said, because you listen to the woman, you will suffer.
No.
No what?
No. God did not say you listen to the woman, you will suffer.
Money on it?
I want to put money on it right now. Look up the Bible. Somebody, please. Get the Bible verse.
Are you a Christian?
Yes.
You're a Christian?
Yes, I am.
How do you know you're a Christian?
I am, because I have accepted Christ as my Lord and Savior.
Oh, so. I see. And when God told Adam, because you listen to the woman, you shall suffer.
When she was in the Garden of Eden and she has listened to the, no, but that doesn't mean you listen to all women.
My case is rested.
But it also
he said the woman. That meant woman, period. Because women don't have sound mind, they have illogical mind.
No, and and now you're in the same, you can't pick.
Okay, yes, to a certain degree, women, we don't base a lot of our decisions on logic. We do rely upon how things make us feel, and that's true. But there's nothing actually wrong with that. See, we were made to be this way. And if you didn't have the compassionate, empathetic version of human nature, which is the woman, then the world would probably be complete chaos. Can you just imagine if it was nothing but a bunch of logical men, running the world? Yeah, there would be a lot more war. There would probably be a lot more, or obviously a lot less people being born. Eventually the world would just be stagnant. So it's like the woman and how she is, her personality for the most part, is an absolute necessary thing for this planet. So while that may be true, we don't run on the same level of logic as men. To say that all of us to say that all women don't have a sound mind, that's a little too far, Jesse. Like, he takes the manosphere stuff and he just goes to Jamaica with it. Like, I swear to God, this dude takes it and goes way too far, because it's like, let's just keep listening.
You can choose what you take from the Bible to use it to your advantage, because the Lord says he does not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. So that means he is not giving the man that, he's giving all of us that. So we all have love, power, and sound mind.
Women don't have love.
That we can be consulted with, because we have sound mind.
Women don't have sound mind.
What?
Women are up and down. If the thought sounds like a good thought, they're into it.
So
if it sounds like a bad thought, they're into it.
Not that's the women you might know.
No, that's all women.
No, that is not all women. So you're saying basically every man that you know makes great decisions, and every woman that you know makes bad decisions?
The man that has not been born of his father, he has his mother's nature.
How could he have not been born of his father when he's in existence?
Because when he's first born, he's born of the woman. And all human beings who are born of the woman are dying. And then that's why God said,
Okay, logical Jesse. Every human being is going to die regardless. Like, of course, we're all born of the woman. That's pretty much how nature and biology works. But at the end of the day, if you're born, you're going to die. That's one sad fact of life. You just don't know when. You don't know how far you're going to get in life. Unfortunately, none of us know that. But one thing we can be sure of is if you're here now, you won't be here forever. So, I mean, I know he's talking in a sense of born again, but women can actually be born again and accept Christ too. So it's like, so you're saying that even after a woman becomes born again and accepts Christ as her savior, as a Christian or as any religious woman who observes the higher power, are you telling me that the God of this universe would not help her simply because she's female? Like, this is why Jesse loses me, because he'll say something really smart that makes a lot of sense. Like, when you listen to a woman as a man, if you're in a relationship with her, you suffer. Look at what happened to Adam. He listened to Eve when she was convinced by the snake to go ahead and eat from the tree of knowledge or whatever it was called. And because of that, she kind of led him astray. And then because he was led astray, all of humanity was then led astray. So I get that. But at the same time, it's like, so you're saying there's just no redemption for women whatsoever. Like, we're all just doomed to just be like completely loveless, crazy, emotional beings that are not good in positions of power. That's hurtful.
Every human being is born of the woman.
right, that's why they're all born in sin. That's why they're born
No,
with a
they're
crazy
not.
mind.
They're not born in sin. They're born in sin because of Adam's sin, but they're saved by the blood of Jesus Christ.
But what it is, they're not born that way, but because they're born into crazy families where the mothers are running things, the women turn the children away from the father and recreate them in her image, and so they become like the mother. But I got to ask you this though. Remember God said, because you listen to the woman, you shall suffer, right?
Because Adam listened to the woman,
But
he
God
shall
did
suffer.
say that, right?
Because Adam listened to the woman, she shall suffer.
Right.
Because you cannot,
But God
you
did
cannot
say that,
take,
right?
but you cannot
I want to
manipulate the
establish
Bible
one,
for
though.
what you want it to mean.
No, I want to establish.
You
Did
need
God
to say the
that?
context
Did
of
God
what
say
it means.
that? Did God say
Okay,
it?
I need to look it up.
So you
because
never
I
read
can't
in
trust
Genesis.
it.
You never read in Genesis that
I
God
will
said
have
to
to look.
Adam,
I wish I had my phone because I would need to look it up
"You
because I
need the
can't
word."
trust you. Yes, I do.
You never read that in the word.
I have read the word, but I don't remember it word for word, but I remember the necessary guidance.
I'm probably going to have to look that up and Google that for us, because I'm going to need the proof on that one, Jesse. Yeah, Jesse's right. Genesis 3:17, and unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake, and in sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. And I'm not gonna, completely down the guy, because there's a lot that I do agree with. It's just certain things to just be like, all women don't have a sound mind. All women will make a man suffer. All women don't have love. Like, it makes me like, man, as a woman, am I just this evil being that just messes up men or something? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. The modern woman would definitely fall in the case of that, but not all. It's certainly not all. Okay.
Of it, and to also look at the context of what it said. You're generalizing that to be like God just said, do not listen to the woman,
Right.
when he's meaning Adam listening to Eve in the Garden of Eden.
And Eve is an example of all women.
Okay, but this is
that right?
their situation.
Is that right?
This is
Wait,
their situation.
Is that right or not?
Okay, Adam and
Is
Eve
that
is an
right?
example for all.
Yeah.
Adam and Eve
Yeah.
is an example of a woman and a man.
Okay.
But he gives us a will to choose, which is why we can choose him again and we can choose better decisions. He also gives us the Holy Spirit who guides our decision and whispers to us decision.
Yeah.
That woman can receive the Holy
Yeah.
Spirit as well and also have
Yeah.
great decisions.
Yeah, let's bring this home. Bring it in. Hold on.
Okay.
So did God say to Adam,
I need to
because you
look it up
listened
because
to
now
the
I
woman,
can't trust you because your perception
yeah.
of
Okay,
life,
let's
I
break
can't
it down.
trust it.
Let's
I need
break
to
it
look
down.
it up. Does somebody have the Bible verse?
No. But Dale, listen. Did Adam listen to the woman?
Yes, he did.
And as a result, that man turned away from God when Adam listened to the woman.
As a result, man sinned.
He was turned away from the Father, right?
Man sinned.
That means turned away from the Father, right?
Okay, man sinned.
Does
I
that
won't
mean-
say turned away from the Father, because the Father.
My bigger question is, Jesse, how can we trust everything that we read in the Bible, seeing as how it's thousands of years old and could have been rewritten and reinterpreted thousands of times over? And so there could have been a lot missed from the original passage, or a lot just flat out twisted into someone else's own agenda. And so at the end of the day, I don't know if everything in the Bible can be taken seriously, because there's a lot in it where it's like, why is that even there? You know what I mean? Like for instance, I think it's in Exodus where they like talk about how so-and-so begot so-and-so and so-and-so begot so-and-so. And it literally goes on for like pages and pages talking about who came from who. I think they're just talking about like the origin of people, but it's like, okay, we can pretty much assume that people would be born. Why do we have to like read all this? Like some parts of the Bible are like completely pointless is what I'm saying. And so this right here, I'm not going to argue too much with it, because I'm certainly not like a Bible philosopher by any stretch of the imagination. But at the end of the day, if we're going to run with it and we're going to say, okay, it's true. If you think about it, is it really Eve's fault when Eve was created from Adam? Okay, so she was a part of Adam that was pretty much taken out of him and made into this other life form, which was made originally by God. So God made Adam in his image, and then he was taken from his rib to make him a partner, a woman. And so ultimately God knew what was going to happen. God created the serpent, for God's sakes, who was in the garden in the first place. Why was there even a tree of knowledge there if it was going to be such a huge temptation? Why would God do that? You know, that's my question. Why would you put something there if you know how the human nature is, seeing as how you gave it to us? Why in the world would you hold it against us that we would want to try something knowing that you gave us a curious nature? And then you created a serpent, which would be obviously devious in a sense, and try to get us to do it. Why? Why would the serpent even be there? Why would a tree be there that is not for us? Why would a forbidden fruit be there? Why would anything even be forbidden anyway? If we weren't supposed to have it, why would it be there? And if the serpent meant no good, why was it there? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, the Bible, that's the kind of stuff that doesn't make sense. It's like, if you wanted people to have free will and this and that, and why even give them the option to do wrong? You know, why not create a perfect world that would just go on for ages and be good? You know, and we wouldn't have devastation in this world, and wrongdoings and abuse and wars and poverty and genocide and all kinds of things that are horrible on this planet. I mean, technically God created it, because it wouldn't be there if he didn't. And so that's what makes me just wonder a lot about the Bible and about like the logic of all of this. Like, if we're going to be logical for a second, if I was God, let me just say this. If I was God, I would have never in the first place put something there that wasn't meant for my people. And then tell them, hey, this is there, but you're not supposed to touch this. Because what is human nature going to do? The human nature that you gave us. I'm just saying.
It's still brought up Jesus Christ to redeem his people.
So Adam listened to the woman, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Adam listened to Eve.
Right. Is Eve a woman?
Yes, she is.
So Adam listened to the woman, right?
Okay.
And then the woman listened to Satan, right?
And the woman was deceived by Satan.
But so that means she listened to.
Deceived by Satan.
So that means she believes.
Do you see the word deceived? That means deceived is trickery. That means someone. But also Satan was a man, a male. So that means she was deceived by the male into deceiving another male.
Yeah, listen.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Deceive means that the woman believed the serpent.
Deceived means he tricked her.
Because she believed him, right?
Okay, because he
believed him.
All right, so here we're seeing that whole need to be right thing here. Like, she's just refusing to admit that, okay, if you were deceived, then that means that you pretty much believed that this was going to be an okay thing to do. She won't admit that. And it's like, it's obvious, an obvious yes, and we could easily move on past it, but she's going to keep hitting home that, oh, her poor mind was deceived. So now you're pretty much, I guess, adding to the adage that women don't have a sound mind, that they could be freaking deceived by a serpent, a talking snake. Dude, if I saw a talking snake, I would be stomping the crap out of it. I would not be sitting there associating with a snake. But that's just me.
He
Was
believed
the
him.
beginning
Yeah, you're not
evil.
answering my question.
He was the beginning evil.
Yeah, we
Okay.
run out of time. You're not
We
answering my.
are. Is there time?
Yeah. Did the woman, was Eve deceived by Satan because she listened to him?
Yes.
And she believed what he said, right?
Yes.
And once she believed it, Satan become her God.
No.
He did
No.
become a God.
No. Satan.
Oh, I can't with him. He goes too far. It's like you finally got her to admit that part, and then you go and say, oh, so Satan is her God now. Because she believed this one thing. She didn't just do that and then say, okay, now I'm just going to worship this serpent thing. No, the serpent came in, slithered in, was like, hey,
You should eat that fruit. It's really good. You should eat it.
and then she was all like,
Yeah, I think I'll try it.
and then she did. And she was like,
Hey, Adam, this is really good. You should try this too.
he's all like,
Okay.
and then there goes like humanity. But to say that she just began to worship the devil, that just goes too far. Again, like, this is what I mean with Jesse. Like, he just takes stuff and just goes to outer space. Like,
Caused them to fall from grace.
Why
He did not
ever
become
happened?
her
But
God.
didn't Satan become the woman's God?
No, he did
when
not.
she believed
No, he did not become her
did.
God. No, he never. Now I know for a fact he never
No,
became her
he
God.
became her
He
God.
caused her to fall from grace
And because she believed in him,
because she
got-
was deceived by him.
right? And deceive means to believe.
No, deceive means to be tricked into a
But
false
can-
statement.
Can you be tricked if you don't believe it?
You can be, well, yeah, you have to believe it to be
So
deceived.
Eve,
But she did not believe in him. You're trying to say that now Eve started to believe in the devil. No, Eve did not become a devil worshiper. Eve was deceived by
No,
the
Eve
devil,
became a devil
brought it
worshiper.
to Adam. Okay, and that's what caused their fall from grace.
because Eve believed Satan,
Okay,
and
so
Satan became her God.
so to bring
and
it-
then she went and deceived Adam, and the woman became Adam God, right?
no, the woman never became Adam
When she
God because
believed
when
in
God
him-
came to the, God walked in the garden later on that day and they were clothed.
Let me ask you
And
this.
God was like, who told you that you were naked? And they both said that the woman was deceived
Yeah.
by the serpent.
Let me ask you this.
They never
I say
started
that
praying to
women
Satan.
don't have love.
You what?
I say that women do not have love.
That's impossible.
Why?
Because, first of all, I'm a woman. I have so much love.
And how do you know you have love?
Because I am a loving person.
How do you know
I
that?
feel the love in the inside of me.
And
That's
what
how I
does
know.
it feel like?
And it feels wholesome and peaceful and joyous.
It does?
Yes.
And where did your love come from?
And my love comes directly from the Lord. And the Lord has taught me self-love, which is how I can love everybody else.
Really?
Yeah.
Women don't have love because of Satan being their daddy.
oh my God. I think I'm done on that note. I think I can only handle so much of Jesse Lee Peterson logic. My head is literally about to explode. This dude just said that women don't have love because Satan is their daddy. Like all women. So what happened to you, Jesse? Was it your mom or was it like some woman that you dated in your life that just like ended up being some evil person that's just got you to just believe that all women are messed up? Because that's a far fetch, okay? And for her, how do you know that you have love? Well, in the Bible it says that we should love our neighbors as we love ourselves. And so what that means is you never want to treat another person in a way that you wouldn't want to be treated. And that's simply it. If we treated everyone the way we'd like to be treated, then you have love. You guys tell me what you think. Was this not hilarious? I mean, just again, check out Jesse for yourself if you just want to see how crazy this guy gets. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.